make yourself comfortable. Relax and let your body go floppy and sink down into the mattress beneath you. Your eyelids feel heavy and start to close. You can feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly as you breathe slowly all the way in and all the way out. And as you take 2 more breaths like this, you are being transported into the magical land of Elvaria. So take 1 last breath all the way in and gently all the way out. Now you find yourself in the Elvaria Village inside the local bookshop. It's a rainy day outside and it feels so cozy in here. Although it looks small on the outside, this bookshop stretches back away from the street, and its big storefront window, it seems to stretch back farther than the eye can see. All you can see are bookshelves and bookshelves stretching from floor to ceiling across both the walls, as well as jutting out into the main space. Right at the front of the bookshop is a small cafe, so small that it's just one simple counter with a few glass display cases of cookies and cupcakes. And it looks to be the very same counter that one would go to purchase any books from the store. And where you are standing, around you are the chairs for the bookshop and for the cafe. Big, comfortable armchairs with lots of small tables beside them. Tall stands next to the chairs, just large enough to hold a mug and a plate with a biscuit and a book, and low, wide coffee tables to be shared between several chairs. And in the window is a long, very comfortable looking window seat with luxurious cushions leaning up against the window and the walls at the side, and one long, flat, green and gold cushion stretched across the window seat. This bookshop cafe has a lovely atmosphere, especially on this cozy, rainy day. You decide to take a look around the bookshop and see what sort of books are in here. So, you walk towards a bookshelf and start to look at the spines of the books. You see books that are full of stories about unicorns and pirates and mermaids. These are children's stories and they have colourful illustrations. You walk over to a different bookshelf, and this also has books about unicorns and pirates and mermaids, but this is a non-fiction shelf These are books that teach facts, and you can learn things about real things. Only this is Elvaria. So creatures that would be considered mythical or magical in the human world are actually real here. And so they are included in the non-fiction section, along with books on spells and crystals, the phases of the moon, books on growing vegetables, recipe books, and all sorts of other books are here. Spend some time wandering through the bookshop and find a book that catches your attention. You think it might be nice on this cozy rainy day to snuggle up with a book in the window seat and maybe even have a hot drink, maybe a hot cocoa from the cafe counter, perhaps even with a sweet treat to go with it. So spend some time now looking at the books and choosing what you might like to read about. When you've chosen your book, you go over to the counter and you notice a golden bell. You press on it and it dings loudly, echoing around the bookshop. Soon you hear the buzzing of wings, and flittering down through the long corridor shape of the bookshop, past all the bookshelves, appears a fairy, flying in the air and landing on the counter, ready to serve you. She has very curly pink hair and wears an apron that has a large pocket. Inside the pocket is a notebook and a pen, and perhaps some other handy things that you can't quite see. "Why, hello," says the fairy. "Welcome to Elvaria Village Bookshop Cafe. How can I help you today?" You show her the book, and you say that you would love to buy it, and you would love a hot chocolate, please, if they have them here, and one of the tasty treats. You choose which one you would like and you tell her. She smiles and says, "Well, of course. Now I think I know who you are. I've heard about you from my friends. And I know one of my friends in particular is looking after your pouch of Elvons. That's the Elvaria money, remember? And so I will simply send her the bill and she can take care of these for you. So you needn't worry about paying just now. You can enjoy the book. And just give me one moment." She takes out a wand from her apron pocket, waves it in front of herself at the counter, dings the golden bell 3 times, and then with a whooshing sound, you hear something else flying through the bookshop towards you. And it gets closer and closer, and you see in front of the fairy is a saucer for a cup. She has magicked a saucer here. But where is your cup? Where is your mug of hot cocoa? Well, you can see now that the thing whooshing through the shop is your mug of hot cocoa. It flies over and lands down onto the saucer with a clink. And then following behind it are 2 marshmallows, one pink and one white, and they plop themselves down into the mug of hot cocoa with a plop and a plop. And a very little splash of hot chocolate leaps out and lands on the counter. But with a quick flick of her wand, the fairy cleans it up. Then she points her wand at the glass display that has your treat in it, and the treat starts floating up inside the display case, and then it starts floating over towards your saucer, and when it reaches the glass that should be stopping it, at least it would in the human world, it simply floats straight through it as though there was nothing at all there, and lands down onto your saucer. You reach over to the glass display case and give it a tap, and it is indeed solid. So this is some wonderful magic that you have just seen. "Now make yourself comfortable, dear," says the fairy. And your cocoa and saucer, along with the treat, floats up and starts flying over towards the window seat. You follow it and sit down with your book, making yourself cozy and comfortable. Your cocoa is just hovering in the air, so you take hold of the saucer and sit it down on a table next to the window seat. Take your time now, enjoying your hot cocoa, your treat, and your book in this wonderfully comfortable place. It is so delicious, the taste of your food and your drink, but also just the feeling of being here. So take your time and relax and enjoy it. It is wonderfully comfy here, and soon you're feeling so cozy that you're feeling a little bit sleepy. And you remember that if you fall asleep in Elvaria, you always wake up in your very own bed at home. So you decide to take a nap, and you know that you can come back here anytime, back to the Elvaria Bookshop, or back to anywhere in Elvaria, for wonderful adventures and lots of fun. So, if you haven't already done so, you finish your delicious hot cocoa, you finish your yummy treat, and you take one last look at your book. Really enjoy how beautiful the pictures are, the colours of the book cover, and the texture of how it feels in your hands. You might even be able to smell that special book smell. You place it down beside you, knowing that it will be very safe here, and you notice that the cup and saucer are floating up into the air and off, away through the bookshop, back to wherever they came from, to be washed and cleaned, however that happens with magic, ready for the next time that someone wants to have a lovely drink and a treat here in the Bookshop Cafe. You start to sink your body down into the comfortable cushions, really relaxing and letting your body feel so floppy and comfortable, and your heart feels happy and joyful and satisfied, so content with your time here in Elvaria, and simply happy to be alive. You feel sleepy, and you start to breathe slowly, breathing in and out gently, and your eyes feel heavy. Your eyelids start to flutter and they gently close, and soon you're drifting off to sleep, ready to have magical, wonderful, cozy dreams. Good night.